Hey matey, we heard you coming to Israel. We're gonna kick your butt. Yeah.
Close your eyes.
All right,
Open your mouth.
welcome to the multicultural and the multi-religious country of Israel.
Massage your face. Massage. Deep.
The young country of Israel, roughly the size of the American state of New Jersey, is the center stage for the world's three major religions. This sacred land has been a source of contention for thousands of years, passing ownership through the hands of many of the great empires of the past. If you want to turn back the clock and take a stroll through history, go surf at one of the many beaches, grab a drink with locals at any of the many bars, or maybe even camp out in the desert. These activities alone only scratch the surface of what this extraordinary country has to offer in travel. My trip starts in the holiest city in the world. That's right, Jerusalem. Jerusalem has been destroyed, besieged, attacked, captured and recaptured, and is still a must-experience city.
Shalom from Jerusalem. We're inside the old city. Right behind me is the Kotel, which is the Western Wall. We figured this is a great place to start off our trip to Jerusalem.
You can take a stroll through the old city, which houses some of the most important religious and spiritual structures in the world.
We're in front of the Dome of the Rock. This is where Muhammad was believed to be ascended to heaven.
Or maybe rent a bike, take in the new part of the city to marvel at the modern architecture. Jerusalem is the place where the old goes hand in hand with the new. One of my favorite things to do in a city like this is to take a trip to the market. I consider markets to be the veins of a city because people are always flowing through the streets and alleys, giving the city tremendous life. Even better, sometimes in markets you can stumble upon some interesting characters.
You spray in your mouth, face, your mouth. Close your eyes. Close. Open your mouth. It's antivirally, antibacterially. Keep you hung, very healthy. Massage your face. Massage deep, 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 deep.
Deep massage.
Deep massage. They become dry.
I came here for pita and hummus, and now I'm getting a.
By the way, it could grow hair with the time if you spray.
You can grow hair?
Massage, yeah.
Oh, this is important.
Curly.
More.
Curly. Massage your face. Your nose, your throat. Good. Refresh?
Yeah, refreshed.
See far
Am I
away.
younger?
You can see far away.
I can see far away. Look over there.
Refresh?
Yeah.
Come inside. I have beverage to make you happy, healthy, and good, peaceful at home. If you have any pain or any disease or sinus, one small drop. Small drop will be enough for sinus. Dip in your nose. Close your eyes, nobody will see you. Take it aside. Other hole. Squeeze like this. Breathe. The air come in from the nose, take out from the mouth.
Okay.
Do like this. No, you have to enjoy through your throat. Again. Open.
It's good, yeah.
Open.
I can smell it better
No,
now.
if you have any passion fruit with goat yogurt.
Passion fruit with goat yogurt.
Yeah. Make you peaceful.
So I'm peaceful, I'm happier, I can smell better.
Yeah.
I
You will
look
not
younger,
forget-
my hair is growing back.
For 2 years you will not forget me.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm getting full.
If you have any pain in your neck, you spray like this.
I don't have any pain in my neck, but I guess I do.
Migraine. Yeah. Put a little bit lemon.
This is sugar cane and
Yeah.
lemon.
Yes.
It's pretty good. I'm gonna be
Fresh.
like bouncing off the wall later on today.
Diagnosed me, I didn't know I was sick.
Not only was he a promoter of natural health, he did readings too.
You like traveling, flight, and sailing, and traveling around the world.
It's true.
Kind of healer through your speaking and by your subject you produce.
It's very deep. I actually got goosebumps. That was beyond entertaining. It's always awesome when you come across animated characters like that. I had a great time roaming through the market in the city.
This is what we do in Hostel Life. We just roam around. No destination whatsoever.
But let me show you where we're crashing for the next few days.
Why did you open up a hostel?
There was a massive demand or a big need, a big vacuum for a quality hostel accommodation in Jerusalem. Being a traveler, you always sort of fantasize of what your dream hostel would be like. Take a little bit of this one in Australia, a little bit of that one in South America, and then put them all together and make your dream place. And that was always in the back of my mind, and when I put the two together, it just was natural to open one up.
What are the influences, from your travels that you want to put into this hostel?
Important element for me in a hostel is that it made me feel safe, made me feel like home, sort of a place to get away from the hustle and bustle for wherever I was staying. So that was one of the sort of key elements that we try to introduce here, especially with the common areas like this one. Come visit us for sure.
Very cool.
Hopefully soon.
Fun.
Next
Yeah.
on the Hostel Life. Sorry, you can take my shekel. I clean up a bit, and Yaron Bergen, one of the other hostel owners and founder of Israel Hostels, offered to take me around and show off some of his favorite spots.
Jerusalem is such an old city, and in terms of infrastructure, it's very complicated to do such projects. So now, as you see the road, this is, as I told you, the main road of Jerusalem, and it's closed for any traffic now.
Oh, wow.
And as you see what they are building here now, they are in the finishing stages of the new tram,
Okay.
train. It's an upper train. It's not an underground, but the train, which we are expecting for it for many years now, will be.
So it takes you right to the old city?
Yeah, and now we are entering the Ben Yehuda Midrachov. It's a pedestrian area.
Oh, wow.
When you walk around here, you see many times people standing here speaking. Have you ever heard about the Jerusalem syndrome?
No. Tell me about it.
Well, you might laugh, but it's completely true. You can check me.
Okay.
You can go to the medicine textbook and the psychological textbook,
Okay.
and you see that there is a disease, an illness called Jerusalem syndrome.
Okay.
It makes people who come to Jerusalem to think that they are the Messiah or Jesus
Oh, really?
or Muhammad.
Really?
And definitely, and it happens only in Jerusalem.
Only in Jerusalem.
Only in Jerusalem. So a lot of many times when you go around here, you meet them. This is one of their favorite spots because there is a big crowd here.
Okay.
So you can see someone just going here, standing and saying, "People, come, my people, come back." That's why people go.
So I can do that tomorrow, maybe. See what happens.
Maybe you can
Go
go
throw
and
some
see
stones at me, maybe. I don't
It
know.
was great to learn more about Jerusalem from a local and fellow backpacker. But it's time to meet up with the guy at the beginning of the show, the one who so kindly offered to kick my ass. I can't shy away from somebody attacking my manhood. Krav Maga is a hand-to-hand combat technique based on street fighting and designed with the primary goal of neutralizing the threat at any cost. I think I want to take a stab at this Krav Maga thing. No pun intended. Baruch Macklin, remember him? The guy who wanted to kick my butt at the beginning? I found out he's one of the top students in the area of Krav Maga. You call that a push-up? Let me show you a push-up.
No fear.
No fear. No fear.
No fear.
I have to admit, after a few lessons on technique, I was ready to take on the world. All right, give me all your shekels, buddy. Give it. Sorry, you can take my shekel. Maybe not so much.
All right. I don't like you.
I think Baruch was right. He did kick my ass. But I have no time to lick my wounds because it's time for a road trip through the desert. Next on the Hostel Life.
So our road trip to the desert actually came to a halt because the car is not starting anymore. So our road trip to the desert actually came to a halt because the car is not starting anymore. But we have an amazing view behind us. All by myself. All right, the car situation sorted itself out. So now we're on our way to the Dead Sea, the lowest point on the face of the earth.
To maximize your time and see all the must-see attractions, a great way to travel in Israel is to find a few travelers, or in my case, a crew, to chip in and rent a car. You don't want to miss a place like the Dead Sea, do you?
Right behind us is the Dead Sea, the lowest point on Earth. It's called the Dead Sea. Why? Because nothing can live in it. But I feel so alive being here. I'm gonna go jump in.
The Dead Sea, or literally translated from Hebrew, the Killer Sea, is 377 meters deep and is 8.6 times saltier than any ocean. This is why not too many things can live in it, aside from some algae. But it is great to float in.
We're at the Dead Sea at the En Gedi Spa. I figured the best way to rejuvenate my skin and turn back the clock is take a nice little mud bath.
Another great thing about the Dead Sea is that the mud is supposed to be amazing for your skin. So I decided to sneak in at a neighborhood spot to go mudding. Note to self, taking a mud bath wasn't the best of ideas. I think I see why people rub it on instead of diving into a tub of it. As you can tell, it was a pain in the ass to get off.
My nose is burning!
Alright, enough playing around. We gotta hit the road as it's time to hit the Judean desert. The Judean desert is only 1,500 square kilometers, small in desert terms, but houses one of the greatest symbols for the Jewish people.
We're on top of Masada right now, overlooking the Dead Sea and Jordan, learning about the fascinating events that happened right here on top of this rock.
Back in the 1st century, this rugged desert provided refuge for the Jewish zealots as they escaped here after the Roman invasion of Jerusalem. The zealots were able to fend off the Romans for a few years, but eventually their time was numbered. Instead of surrendering to live a life of slavery and prostitution, the zealots decided that mass suicide was a better option. Israel's soldiers to this day take an oath that Masada shall not fall again. I have to say, that's pretty honorable. Time to make the trip back down from 400 meters up to the southern part of the Dead Sea. Only one thing could top off this day, a camp barbecue.
And he goes and finds the chickens. He chases after chickens. That's his job, right?
Yeah.
Do we have chicken? What's this, like a sausage?
I'm full and I'm beat, and I think it's time to get some shut-eye, as I have a few more days left on the road.
We're on our final day of our road trip, and we're heading to see the crater in Mitzpeh Ramon. Hang on tight.
I heard about this thing called a Machtesh, and there are only a few places in the world that have them. This really struck my interest, especially when I found out that Israel is home to 5 of them. So I headed west to hunt down the largest Machtesh, which can be found in the Negev desert near the town of Mitzpeh Ramon. Yoash Limon, a local guide, offered to help me find and understand these Machtesh.
As you can see, a Machtesh is basically a big hole in the ground.
Okay.
And it's a hole on top of a mountain.
A hole on top of a mountain.
an erosion valley at the peak of a mountain, and it's a geological phenomenon that's unique to this area.
Okay.
There are only 7 of them in the world, and 5 of them are in Israel.
Really?
2 others are in Sinai, and this is the largest one.
So there's other Machteshes?
There are other Machteshim, yeah, that's what we call
Machteshim.
them. And because it's a unique phenomenon just like this, the term that we use is a Hebrew term, and that's the reason that you have to crack your teeth saying it.
Now, how big is the Machtesh?
Well, it's 40 kilometers long and 11 kilometers wide in the widest point.
Okay.
And this valley
Okay.
is on top of the 3rd highest peak in Israel.
Okay. Let's go check out a couple new views of the Machtesh.
We hiked some more through the Machtesh to a spot that Yoash thought was kind of fitting.
So what is this structure that we're standing in right now?
This is an ancient hostel.
An ancient hostel.
That's what it is. It's a rest stop on a road, on a route. And in the ancient world, even sometimes to this day, you can find these in Africa that are still active.
Okay.
People on the road need a place to stop and rest, and they need it to be protected. And if you look at the structure, you can see that even though it's not really a fortress, all the rooms are facing inside and there are no windows facing outside. So
Okay.
the outside walls of all the rooms create a fortified structure.
Gotcha.
So it gives you basic protection, and it's also a place for people to meet and talk, and cultural meetings, because people
Just
on
like
the
a
road,
hostel,
exactly,
right?
just like a hostel.
Yeah.
Yoash and I then gathered some plants.
It's tea time, buddy. So we're making tea from the plants that we picked earlier. So what are these plants?
Well, this one is called Pa'oshit,
Pa'oshit.
which would translate as fleet plant.
So you're making flea tea.
I'm making flea tea, yeah. According to Bedouin legend, Bedouin tradition, if you drink tea out of this plant regularly, it will repel the fleas out of your clothing and whatever.
I don't have
you sleep
fleas.
in.
I don't
Well, that's
have
good, but it's still good. And it also gives you an excuse to sit under a tree
and relax
and
in the
relax
shade,
in the shade, yeah.
which is a good way to end our Machtesh adventure. So.
I think so.
Yeah, you think so?
All right,
Perfect.
let's see what this tastes like.
All right.
Fine.
L'chaim.
Fine.
That's some good flea tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next on the Hostel Life.
I don't want to do this. All right, since we decided to do a road trip, we saw some hitchhikers. Apparently it's safe to hitchhike in Israel. Started off as 3 girls and it turned into 3 dudes, which are in the back right now. But I figured it's a good opportunity to get some backpacker confessions.
No, not a lot of funny shit's happened here. It's been, I mean, I guess a pretty normal experience. The kibbutz life is really, really low key.
Name something funny that's happened to you during your travels.
Cow shot on my face.
A cow shat on your face.
No, a cow literally shat onto his face at work.
Why would a cow do that?
He was milking it.
Yeah? Are you serious?
Yeah, he milks cows. That's his job.
Does a cow
Yeah,
shit?
but Bill pissed on me when I was 2.
No, the cows are pretty horrible work. You gotta wake up early. Cows hate being milked. They just don't like anyone.
Now I'm a little nervous about this whole kibbutz thing after my freeloading friends told me a few of their stories. What is a kibbutz, you may ask? Kibbutzim, the plural of kibbutz, began kind of as a utopian-style community that was a mix of socialism and Zionism. Nowadays, kibbutzim have become privatized and have shed their predominantly agriculture-focused ways. But kibbutz Lotan has kept some of the traditional farming roots and has provided some additional programs. I wanted to learn more about the green apprenticeship programs that they have. So I followed the smell of food and luckily found some students in the director of education.
So part of the work that the students are doing is they got to figure out how to feed themselves.
Okay.
And it's from start to finish. They've been using the different types of ovens that we have here. We have solar ovens, we have ancient mass ovens.
Okay.
Basically, we take all of our wood that's left over from that's cut off of the trees,
Okay.
and also from our date trees. A lot of waste that comes out of that.
So you guys don't use your traditional conventional ovens? It's
We'll use that
all-
too.
Yeah, you do
You
that
do
too.
that
Okay,
too.
okay.
I mean, it's all a combination. The whole
Okay.
point here is not to go. You learn the techniques and you use them as needed and as possible. Plus, that
Okay.
we're still building the campus here. You can see
Okay.
there's stuff going on here.
Alex convinced me that I needed to get an authentic kibbutz experience by rolling up my sleeves and participating in the action tomorrow. But I did not realize tomorrow meant 5:30 in the morning and that it came so quickly.
Oh,
Didn't do a good job milking goats. This guy right here?
Yeah. You need to press the button.
Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. Ow! Yeah, milking goats.
My journey ends in Tel Aviv, a rapidly growing cosmopolitan city nestled on the Mediterranean coast. Tel Aviv is also known as the Beta World City, which means there's always something to do at any hour of the day. I'm here with my good friend Gal from Tel Aviv, who I met in Sand Hill, Colombia, 1 year ago to the day, I think.
1 year ago, and
He had like longer hair and like a beard. This is the best part about backpacking, meeting up with old friends we met on the road. My trip to Israel has been fulfilling. From getting a health lesson from a new friend,
No, you have to enjoy it.
getting schooled in an Israeli defense martial art called Krav Maga, splashing around in some mud and sucking in the healing powers of the Dead Sea, and finally, getting the freshest of milk from a goat at a kibbutz. I'd have to say, Israel's definitely a place that any type of traveler will enjoy. Until next time, keep your mind free and your eyes open because you never know what adventure awaits. Come to the Dead Sea without a proper mud bath.
Not bad. Okay, one improvement. You have your two friends. What are their names? This is Lewis, this is Grant. Okay, so what you basically did is, as the gun came around, you went bam, 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 your fire Lewis, bam, 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 your fire Grant, bam, bam, your fire. I'm killing everybody.